My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. Today, let us contemplate on Ananda Lahari or waves of bliss. There is a composition by Sri Shankaracharya on Muktananda Lahari. Mukta means one who is liberated. Ananda Lahari means the waves of bliss he experiences in life. What is this waves of bliss? What is this Ananda Lahari? There are three monks who are sitting for a meditation. Monks means they have left everything. They have given up. They are called Sarvasanga Parityagi. They have left the family. They have left the home. They have become very simple. One monk wants to claim superiority to the other monks. You know, I am a monk from this tradition. This tradition is a great tradition. I am coming from this great tradition of monks. The next monk is not ready to accept this. He says, you know, I have studied all the scriptures. I am master of so many scriptures. They don't say they are great, but they are implying that. The third monk says, I am not as accomplished as you people are, but I have greatest humility. The ego wants to add something. Even greatest humility is also a qualification which ego wants. Our ego is constantly looking for some qualification, some medallion. You may see these army persons and all. They have a lot of great medallions on their chest. Ego wants to accumulate. I am great. I am great because of this. I want this. I need this. So ego always feels uncomfortable, small. And it is driving the body and mind for acquiring things, acquiring medals in life. I have a great tradition. See, I come from a great family. I come from a great tradition. One medallion. No. I have learned so many scriptures. I am master of so many subjects. Is another medallion. I am very humble person. Is also a medallion. The ego constantly wants to acquire something, and this causes restlessness in mind. Tremendous restlessness in the mind. There is nothing called peace in the mind as long as ego is active. But you cannot kill the ego. Ego is a shadow, it doesn't exist. Ego is combining what is real, consciousness, with what is not real, the body, mind, and intellect. Atma, Anatma, it's combining. The consciousness is the knowing principle. Body, mind, and intellect is the known object. It claims it superimposes the consciousness on the body, mind, intellect, and body, mind, intellect on the consciousness. It's called Anyonya Adhyasa, mutual superimposition. The body, mind, and intellect appear to be conscious, and the consciousness appear to be changing. So because of this superimposition, the body, mind, intellect changes, So you say, I change. I became old. I am happy. I am happy is the mind is changing. The change is superimposed on the I, and I am happy. The body is becoming old. I have become old. So the body's characteristic are superimposed on the self. And when you talk to somebody, you understand something, and you think that the body knows. The knowing is superimposed on the body. The consciousness and matter, they are mutually superimposed by the ego. And this superimposition is unreal. That's why ego is not real. When the ego starts, when you start this, when the attention goes from the ego to the real self, there is deep peace within. That is the peace of self, Atma. The consciousness is like an ocean. There are waves. The waves are nothing but the mind, thoughts in the mind. You cannot stop that waves because they're turbulent. The ocean is very turbulent. You cannot force the waves to calm down. But as you go deeper into the ocean, there's deep silence and peace within. The ocean at the deepest level is serene and silent. Our mind is agitated because of the ego. I want this, I want this. It's going outwards. As you take the attention back to the source, back to who am I, the mind calms down. It is a gentle process. There's no force. Gently settle down into the self. Who am I? There's a saying, water never flows. Have you heard of this? Can water flow? The water, if it's moving or not moving, water is same. There's no change in the water. The movement is only apparent. Water can never flow. The movement of water we call as flow, but water itself, there's no change in water when the flow is there. There's no change in the water when the water is stagnant also. So water cannot flow. The flow is a movement superimposed on water. Similarly, the Atma, the self, is like water. There's a movement superimposed on Atma. The movement is called mind. It's a movement superimposed on Atma. The Atma, the self, is consciousness, pure awareness, pure existence, Sat Chit Ananda. There is a movement superimposed on Satchidananda, that's called mind. You can say the mind is activity of consciousness. There's no doer, that's an activity in consciousness. Like ocean has waves, the consciousness has activity called mind. The mind gives appearance of motion to the consciousness, while consciousness itself doesn't move. Water doesn't flow. The flow is superimposed on water. The water can be stagnant or flowing, but nothing happens to water. Similarly, waves come and go. Nothing happens to the self, Atma, the consciousness. I am like water. The waves are like mind, thoughts. I don't need to stop the thoughts to find the water. I have to recognize water in wave. That's meditation. So one day, Buddha, one day Buddha was going to another village along with his disciple Ananda. Buddha is thirsty. He asks Ananda, can you fetch me some water from the lake? So Ananda goes there and he finds the lake is muddy. One bullock cart, those days they traveled bullock cart, had passed over the lake and the water had become muddy. Ananda comes and tells Buddha, the lake is muddy. So Buddha says, wait for some time. The mud settles down and you can see the clear lake. The lake is so clear, you can see the bottom also. Now you can drink water. So Buddha is a great teacher. Any occasion he teaches. Any incident he takes and gives an example and teaches. That's how a great teacher is. For a great teacher, every opportunity, every incident in life is a means of teaching. Buddha tells Ananda, our mind is like a lake. The bullock cart, when it goes over the lake, the mind becomes muddy. When it sees sense objects, the mind gets agitated. I want this, desires keep rising. Don't have to force the mind. Just become aware of your breath. Just become aware of your body. The mind naturally settles down, calms down. And there is a deep peace within. So similarly, our mind, we can make calm. We don't have to force the mind to become calm. And we don't have to force to drop the desire also. When we start seeing the deep peace within by meditation, naturally the desire for anything else drops. The mind gets agitated because of desire, but mind becomes peaceful when the mind settles down, calm. Naturally, agitation comes down. Why mind is getting agitated? Ego splits one totality of existence into me and the other. Self, me, the body, mind, intellect, me, and the other. The experiencer and experienced. The subject and object. So when you split the totality into two, there's a restlessness. We have to experience the one wholeness. I am the whole. I am the total. I am Purna. I am complete. Purnoham, I have to experience. How do you experience Purnoham? Not by repeating Purnoham, 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 not by chanting Purnoham, 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 but allowing the mind to settle down, calm. In that calmness, you see the Purna, the totality, oneness. The moment the mind comes, wave comes, the ego, wave called ego comes, there's a split. So can we operate from that peaceful or calmness? And such a person is called a gnani or mukta. At the bottom of our mind, there is pure awareness, which is knowingness, which is witness, which is non-dual. There's no split there. At the wave level, you can see the surface level. There are two. There are multiplicity you can see. But as you go deep in the ocean, there is oneness. Similarly, as you go deeper and deeper within us, there is pure awareness, which is non-dual. There's no split. And because it's not split, we feel we are whole, we are complete, we are total. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta. A person who has become Jiva, who has realized himself as awareness, is free. You can also realize your awareness. It's not complicated. Thoughts come, feelings comes, emotion comes. I'm aware of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. The awareness doesn't change. The I principle doesn't change. What changes is not you. The awareness is like sky, open, pure. In that pure, in sky, in space, lot of objects can come. Similarly, in awareness, thoughts, feelings, and emotions can come and go. Awareness is not affected. It's a knowing principle. A thought comes, I know. A feeling comes, I know. A feeling goes, I know. A emotion comes, I know. Emotion goes, I know. The knowing principle is awareness, sakshi, the witness. The knowing principle is not affected. That knowing principle is the unaffected I, which is at the deepest level of ocean, silence, purity. I am that awareness. When I consider myself as body or mind, I feel limited. Then I consider myself as wave. In reality, I am the ocean. I am the awareness, which is ocean, which is not dual. It is like saying, I have 5 fingers. This finger, first finger, one finger claims that I am the hand. This finger is saying, claiming I am the hand. It's false. It is splitting itself from the hand and saying, I am the hand. Similarly, I am splitting. The ego splits myself from the ocean of awareness and says, I am the awareness. It says body is awareness. It says mind is awareness. In reality, the totality is awareness. The totality is existence. Any partiality causes pain, and that pain is called ego. So there is, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, tells the bliss of a person who has realized I am awareness. The bliss of the person of one who has realized I am awareness. So the bliss of the person, whether he's in a, Sri Shankaracharya says in the Jivan Muktananda Lahari, a person who is realized the self, I am the awareness, it does not matter where he is. He doesn't need a Himalayas to be peaceful. He is in Himalayas or he is in a war field, he is peaceful. He is in a family with wife and children, he is peaceful. If he is a monk, also he is peaceful. He is sitting in a cave and meditating, he is peaceful. Or he is in a marketplace, he is discussing with scholars, he is peaceful. He is playing with the children, he is peaceful. His peace is not disturbed by any circumstance when you recognize your true self as awareness. Right now, we are living with our false identity, ego. That false identity is always fearful. It knows I am false. The thief is also always fearful. The person, a mukta, he is peaceful when he is doing a practice of meditation. He is peaceful when he is not doing a practice of meditation. He is peaceful when he is dancing. He is peaceful when he is in the midst of the scholars discussing deep philosophical aspects. He has no likes and dislikes. Every aspect of life he enjoys bliss. He has experienced waves of bliss. A wave in an ocean only feels limited. But ocean doesn't feel limited, it's infinite. The wave is always afraid. The ocean is not afraid. The water is not afraid. Nothing happens to water. So similarly, every circumstance in life, every situation in life causes bliss, experiences, the person, the mukta, jivan mukta experiences bliss. Why? See, when we see something, see a flower, The ego comes and splits the experience into two: flower and seer, the seeing and the seer, Drak and Drashta. It says seer is the body and seen is the flower. The split is happening. But what we don't realize, it's a total one experience. One experience is getting split into two. But when I see the real seer, which is the awareness, Sakshi, then there's no split. The Sakshi, for Sakshi, there's no separation from anything. From my body, there is a separation. Flower, when I see a flower, there's a separation from me to the flower because I am the body. So when I am not the body, but I am Sakshi, the witness. For the witness, there's no separation at all. Witness is like space. There's separation between my two hands physically, but there's no separation between my hand and space. My hand and space. Similarly, for witness, there's no separation between the body, which is sensation, thoughts, or the world, physical world. There's no sensation. Everything is a thought. There's no separation between the witness and the thought. Thoughts appear and disappear, like waves appear and disappear. Ocean is not bothered. The witness is not bothered. The appearance and disappearance of thought doesn't bother the witness. Thought is not separate from witness. Thought is a temporary modification appearing in witness. Thought is not real. Witness is always real. The wave is not real. Wave appears and disappears, momentary. So the witness is peaceful. There is nothing separate from witness. Everything is appearance in witness, but no appearance affects the witness. So like that, because of this, for a person who is established in non-duality of the self, for him there's nothing separating the world. Even when the eyes open, there's no separation. There's no, all are a part of appearance in himself. Everything is appearance in pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is not visible. The pure consciousness is not visible. But what is visible is superimposed on the not visible. The I principle, always awareness, witness, it's not visible. What is visible is a superimposition. Superimposition keeps on changing. It's mithya. It is not separate from me. So how does it matter? What is happening? Waves are appearing, disappearing. How does it matter to me? I am the ocean. So because of that, every experience in life gives a joy to him. Even a small thing in life makes him joyful. He is like a child. The child is happy playing with a marble, seeing a flower, seeing the bird. The child is happy. Every sensation, because child has no concept of I and the other. The duality is not there. But what happens to you? What happens to us as we become old, aged? The moment we see something, the experience gets split into two. The seer and seen, the duality comes, and duality causes stress. So all our experience, there are two aspects. One is the experience itself. It's always one whole, non-dual. The experiences get split into two: the self and the non-self, I and the other, by the ego. There's naming of the experience. That is flower, this is me. The naming makes the duality appear. The naming itself gives an illusionary sense of duality where there's no duality. So that's why when you inquire, who am I really? The I disappears, because there's no duality. It's awareness. The real I is Sakshi, the pure awareness. There's no duality there. So when there's no duality, every experience of life is a joy. Every experience of life is a wave in motion. Every experience is an Ananda Lahari. Ananda Lahari means wave of bliss. No, is he blissful only in meditation? No. He is blissful looking at a coffee, drinking a cup of coffee. He is blissful dancing. He is blissful playing with children. The bliss doesn't change at all. In fact, he enjoys life much more than anybody. That's why a Gnani is called Mahabhogi. Atma Gnani is called Mahabhogi because he enjoys everything in life. We have heard, no, You have to drop everything in life. Okay, you have to detach what is called tyaga. You have to give up everything, give up everything. That's the initial stage, starting. So initially you have to give up all objects of sense organs, because there is a subject-object relationship. That's the initial part of spiritual journey, tyaga. Then the later part of spiritual journey, when you find real self, everything is bhoga, everything is enjoyment, everything is bliss. You live in the ocean of bliss. So does the pain is the pain does the Gnani blissful? Is Gnani blissful in pain? Yes, he is blissful in pain also. Even the severe pain in the body is blissful. Sri Ramana Maharshi underwent the surgery, sarcoma, cancer, without anesthesia. He was sitting blissfully. The doctors performed 4-hour surgery without anesthesia. Doctors were stunned. The whole room was silent and serene, because Ramana Maharshi was established in bliss. So what is the difference between the bliss of a Gnani and an ordinary person? Gnani knows every time there is a experience, any experience, a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or seeing a flower, any experience is non-dual. In the non-dual experience, the happiness of the self is only experienced. So all happiness only comes from the self, Atma. The happiness is a wave in the ocean of bliss, Ananda. Whereas Adnani associates the bliss, associates the happiness with the object. So if I drink a cup of coffee, for Adnani, I drank a cup of coffee, I became happy. His happiness is because of the object. And Gnani, he drinks a cup of coffee, he's happy. He knows I'm happy because happiness is my nature. It's a wave in my ocean of bliss. So every happiness Adnani associates with the object, and every happiness Adnani associates with the self. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is like a person, poor man, has a small bank account, less money in the bank. Every time he draws the money, he feels worried because money is getting exhausted. Whereas Gnani is like a rich man. He has a big bank account. Whatever money he draws, he is happy. This money will not get exhausted. So Gnani is like a rich person who is sitting on infinite ocean of bliss. And he draws a cup of coffee, some bliss comes out, some happiness comes out. A cup of tea, some happiness comes out. He plays with the children, some happiness comes out. But happiness never gets exhausted, it's ocean. He's drawing happiness from the self. Whereas Adnani is always worried. He's always drawing limited happiness. Drink a cup of coffee. So then he'll immediately, next coffee I'll have to drink it 11 o'clock. Happiness will have to come at 11 o'clock. Till that time, mind is agitated. So he has a very limited money. His happiness is coming from the object. And objects are not real. So the ego knows that temporary nature of the world, anything in the world is not permanent. Because of that, mind is constantly agitated. And whatever happiness you draw, that happiness seems to be very temporary. And constant seeking is there for next happiness. Whereas Gnani doesn't seek happiness, because happiness, he is sitting on the source of happiness, the bliss, Ananda. That's why Brihadaranyaka Upanishad gives a scale of happiness, a measurement scale. The way happiness is measured in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I'll go to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The subject is called, the chapter is called Paramananda Vimamsa, the supreme bliss. Imagine there is a person who has all the wealth in the world, who has infinite wealth, very richest man, billionaire. He has a very good family. He has very good children. He has all the power in the world. And he has a good health. Imagine happiness. and you consider as one unit. Now see, such a person is not available on the earth who has all this. But imagine if he is there also, he is still worried because his health may go down. Okay, he will die. His money may, in the stock market, his money may go. He may lose his power. Always the happiness associated. Always there's a fear, unhappiness, because he is deriving his happiness from the object. So now take the person happiness as one. His happiness is conditional happiness because the conditions are there. Money is there, power is there, wife is there, everything is there. But anything can go anytime. That's why his happiness is conditional. So that's why he cannot enjoy it fully. Conditional happiness. It is from the objects. Now take his happiness as one and imagine 100 times that happiness of the person. 100 times. There are devatas in Pitraloka, the world of ancestors. See, the people when they die, they go to Pitraloka or world of ancestors. Now there are managers in the. See, it's like a world of ancestors, like a lodge, the transit lodge. Before you go to another city, you are in a lodge place, lodging. Then you go. There are lodge managers. Pitra devatas are the lodge managers. They became Pitra devatas because of their good karma. So happiness of the most happy man on the earth is one unit. So 100 units of that happiest man on the earth is one unit of happiness of the Pitra devatas. Imagine the happiness of Pitra devatas as one unit. 100 units of happiness of Pitra devatas is happiness of Gandharva devatas. Gandharva devatas are devatas responsible for music. So Pitra devatas are also, their happiness is conditional because they are devatas till their karmas are getting they became devatas, the managers of Pitraloka, because they did good karma. Once the good karma is over, again they have to come back. So their happiness is conditional. They know, oh, they're worried when my this thing term ends. Consider happiness of Pitra devatas as one unit. Gandharva devatas, 100 units of happiness of Pitra devatas is equal to one unit of happiness of Gandharva devatas. Gandharva devatas are musicians. All musicians in the world, they get their power from Gandharva devatas. So you look at a musician. People look at the musicians. Their mind, they are very happy when they sing music. See the way they sing, their smile on their face, their body language shows they are blissful, they are happy. So if musicians are happy that much, how much happy the Gandharva devatas should be happy, who give the happiness to musicians. The happiness of Gandharva devatas also is conditional. It's also not full happiness. They have been happy when there is music to sing, when there is good music to sing, when there are good audience, there are people who are listening and clapping. Wow, what music, nice music. Otherwise, Gandharva devatas, happiness of Gandharva devatas is temporary. Their happiness is also conditional. And 100 units of happiness of Gandharva devatas is equal to 1 unit of happiness of Karma devatas. Karma devatas means devatas who are running this world. They're like, you can imagine, they are like IAS officers running various administration. In this world, there are so many activities that happen. They have control of that. They are very powerful. And IAS officers have all the facility, like vehicle and all. Like these Karma devatas also have a lot of facility, lot of power. And why they are called Karma devatas? Because they are born in earth. They did very good karma. And because they did very good karma, they became Karma devatas. So 100 unit of happiness of Gandharva devatas is equal to 1 unit of happiness of Karma devatas. You can imagine how happy Karma devatas are. Even Karma devata happiness is conditional. What is conditional? They also have trouble. They have to manage. They are administrators. It's like IAS officers also. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of joy, but they have to run around. There are problems in the world. There are problems. Like this Karma devatas also responsible for some activity. They have responsibility. And karma devas are worried when their karma gets over, they will again have to come back to earth. So their happiness is also conditional. Imagine 1 unit of happiness of karma devatas. 100 unit of happiness of karma devatas is equal to 1 unit of happiness of ajanaja devatas. Ajanaja means those are not karma devatas. Karma devatas are, they did good karma and they became devatas. They got the power, position because of their good karma. Ajanaja devatas are born in Devaloka. Okay, they didn't have to work hard to get that karma. So it's like, I mean, imagine some of the citizens in India, they do work hard, very hard, they study, they go for higher studies, and they get a lot of difficulty. They get a green card and visa in America. And they have a child which is born in America. The child born in America is natural citizen. It doesn't have to work hard to get a visa or citizenship of America. It gets by birth. Ajanya devatas become devatas by birth. They are born rich. So 100 units of happiness of karma devatas is equal to 1 unit of happiness of ajanya devatas. Even ajanya devatas happiness is also conditional. They get the power. They are born rich. They also have to run the administration. They have to take care of so many activities. They are afraid of asuras, the demons, who will come and disturb their power. So their happiness is also conditional. Imagine happiness of ajana devatas happiness. 1 unit of ajana, imagine 100 units of ajana devatas happiness. That's equal to 1 unit of happiness of Prajapati, Brahmaji, the creator. Happiness in his loka. The people there are very long life. Very, very long life. How long life? 1 year of human beings is equal to 1 year of devatas. 1 year of human beings is 1 day of devatas. 1 year of devatas is equal to 1 day of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji lives for 100 years, and people in Brahmaji's loka, Prajapati loka, they live for 100 years. They have a long life. They have a very enjoyable life, rich life. But that's also conditional because they are also born there, they die there, they become old there also. Brahmaji also becomes old. It's a conditional happiness. And what happiness is there in Prajapati loka? Take that as 1 unit and take 100 units of that happiness of Prajapati loka is equal to 1 unit of happiness in Brahma loka. Brahma loka is the highest planetary system. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. The highest loka is Brahma loka. There the life is very long. People are peaceful. There's no tension. But still, they have unhappiness because it's conditional. They may get liberated in this Brahmaji's lifetime, or they may take many lifetime of Brahmaji to get liberated. The liberation has not happened. Jivan Mukti has not happened. So even their happiness is unconditional. But human beings on the earth, they have a great opportunity. They can get infinite bliss, unconditional happiness by realizing self. So what happiness is then Brahma loka? Beyond that you cannot measure. There's no measurement possible because it's ultimate. Your scale is over. You don't have a scale which you can measure happiness beyond Brahma loka. The happiness is in Brahma loka is 1 drop of happiness of Atmadnani. 1 drop. Atmadnani has his happiness is unconditional. There are no conditions attached. And he lives in bliss. He has no fear of birth and death. Even people in the Brahmaloka have the fear of birth and death. Atmadnani has realized I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. I have no birth, I have no death. I have no bondage, no liberation. Brahma Loka also there is a bondage. They have not got liberated. And he has realized I'm pure awareness. For pure awareness is like space. I'm the eternal. And he has realized I am the totality of existence. All lokas are myself. Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, all are myself. I have become all. I am the all. And even if all these lokas go, nothing happens to me. Lokas dissolve. The earth goes, the body goes, but nothing happens to Atma, awareness. I am that awareness. And his happiness, there's no comparison. It's unconditional. The happiness in Brahma Loka, the highest Loka, is just one drop of the happiness of Atmadani, the blissful. And for all of us, we can aspire for that Atmadana, the self-realization, which is unconditional happiness, by inquiring who am I, recognizing I am the true awareness who is free from birth and death. I am not the ego, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure awareness. And all that I see is Mithya, I am alone Satya, Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. Even Jagat is also, the appearance of Jagat is also nothing because of me only, the self only, Atma only. I am all that is there. So this relation is the ultimate relation in the universe. So this is the essence of Ananda Lahari, Jivan Muktananda Lahari, the bliss of, the waves of bliss of self-realization. Unconditional happiness. See a butterfly, happy. See a chocolate, you're happy. There's a pain in the body, you're happy. There's no pain in the body, you're happy. The happiness is unconditional. So this is the state of Atmadnani, Muktananda Lahari, Ananda Lahari. Muktananda Lahari is written by Sri Shankaracharya. Ananda Lahari is waves of bliss, okay, self-realized. With that, we'll conclude today's session. We'll do a small meditation, and after that, we'll answer the questions. So let us do a meditation, a few minutes of meditation. Close your eyes. Sit silently. Become aware of the world around. Is there a world? The mind is the world. Mind and the world are same. Everything in the world is nothing but a thought in the mind. You cannot separate out world and mind. World is nothing but thought in the mind. Is there something called mind? There is nothing called mind because thoughts appear and disappear. There is no solid entity called mind. Thought is the mind. The flow of thought is called mind. There is nothing called mind as such. The flow of thought is called mind. And where is the flow of thought coming? The flow of thought coming, appearing and disappearing in consciousness. I am aware of thoughts coming. I am aware of thought disappearing. Thoughts appear in me and merge back in me, the awareness, the sakshi. Thoughts are like waves in the ocean. The world is like a wave in an ocean. I am the ocean. I am the awareness. In me, thoughts appear and disappear. The waves and appear, disappear. Nothing happens to the ocean. Nothing happens to water. The body is nothing but sensations. The entire body is nothing but sensations. from head to toe. Sensations appear in awareness and disappear in awareness. I am that awareness which doesn't go undergo and change. What appears and disappears is mithya, unreal. The wave is mithya, water is real, satya. The thoughts are unreal. I alone am reality. I am consciousness. Awareness, consciousness is non-dual. There is no other. The world is nothing but an appearance of consciousness only. I am the totality of the world. I am infinite, eternal self, Atma. The breath is rising and falling. In breath is there is in breath and out breath. In breath and out breath is a thought in my mind. Again, thought appears and disappears in consciousness like a wave in ocean. I am the ocean of consciousness. Sit silently, be aware of sensations in the body, thoughts appearing and disappearing, with the understanding that I am the witness. These are waves appearing and disappearing in consciousness. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So there are some questions. I want to answer that. Who or what superimposes the mind on Atma? Mind by itself cannot do that because it is just a series of thoughts. See, a thought is nothing but the question is who superimposes on the Atma? Okay. The answer for this question, I give an analogy you can understand. You go to sleep and you have a dream. In that dream world is there. Let's say dream forest is there, and you are walking in the dream forest and tiger appears and you start running. So the person who appeared in the dream world is yourself. The tiger appeared and started chasing you. You ran. Tiger is also you. So who superimposed on you? The superimposition happened because there is a power in the consciousness called Nidra Shakti, which is actually an imagination power or creative power. And that creative power projects the forest, the tiger, and you. And in that projection, the projection is superimposed on the screen called you who is sleeping. So the power of imagination of you called Nidra Shakti projected. Now why Nidra Shakti projected? There's no answer because that's the nature of consciousness. Similarly, the Atma, the pure conscious, the Atma, the self, reality, has a power called Maya Shakti. The Maya Shakti projects the world, it projects you, the body and mind. And the body and mind is supreme. Body and mind, the Atma is this like a screen. The self is like a screen. And the projection happens on the screen. That's a superimposition. So there's no who projects. There's a power, there's no who does, there's no somebody who does it. It is the power of consciousness called Maya Shakti. It does in the waking state. Nidra Shakti does in the deep dream state. It's a power. So now the question is, I feel that it is again my mind which says I am the witness and I am observing the thought. Also, how do I know it's not a trick played by the ego mind? See, when the mind, I am the ego is a thought, correct? I am the ego is a thought, I am Brahman is a thought, I am Atma is a thought, all are thought only, Jnana only. Okay? Everything is Jnana only. Ego, I am the ego is I am the Sakshi or I am the witness is also a thought. But this thought helps you to destroy other thoughts. So it helps you to destroy I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect thoughts. It helps you to destroy the other illusory thoughts. So in the process, the I am the Sakshi thought also becomes irrelevant after some time, then the real Sakshi remains. It's as good as saying, I have a thorn in my foot. To remove the thorn, I need a thorn only. I cannot remove the thorn with a flower. So use a thorn to remove the thorn. Similarly, I am the Sakshi thought is used to remove all other thoughts. Finally, I am the Sakshi thought also disappears. Can I say the term in bliss, the feeling of infinity or feeling of expansion are the same? Because you said Ananda comes from the word Ananta. So no, the answer is no. So the question here is the feeling of infinity and feeling of expansion are the same. Okay. Is it same as Ananda? No. The feeling of expansion, it's a feeling. The feeling also appears and disappears. The feeling also is like a wave in consciousness. The feeling appears. Oh, I feel expanded. I feel big. I feel, but after some time, I feel small again. The feeling is also temporary. Ananda is not the feeling. Ananda is the observer of the feeling. Ananda is the witness of the feeling. Okay, now Ananda, the word Ananda comes from the word Ananta, means infinity. The infinity, the word infinity you have to understand, infinity you should not take as expansion. Infinity you have to understand where there is no limitation of any kind. All limitation removed. After removing all limitation, what is there? You cannot say. The infinity you cannot explain through words. Infinity is not a feeling. Expansion is a feeling. So infinity is the absence of any bondage of time or space or causation. So the time or space or cause and effect karma is all thoughts. Thoughts appear and disappear in awareness, but awareness itself is not affected. That awareness is infinity. So now you cannot say awareness is expansion or contraction. It is not. It is beyond expansion and contraction. The feeling of expansion is also from the mind. So the next question is, are all the lokas you mentioned, including Brahma Loka, are also part of Maya? That's why Sri Krishna says, yes, all the lokas are also part of Maya. Yes, Sri Krishna says, Loka means actually, the word Loka means an experience. Okay. Sri Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, A Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamupetita Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. A Brahma Bhuna Loka, including Brahma Loka, the topmost Loka, they're all material planets. They are all objective realities. Okay. There are 7 lokas above and 7 lokas below. 7 lokas above are called Boloka, Borloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. And below lokas, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala. All these are made up of material objects. Material. They are material, final and final material. The matter is constantly changing. The matter is nothing but energy at deepest level. It constantly changes. So there is a birth, there is a growth, decay, and it transforms. The matter gets transformed. They are all part of Maya. But witness of this Atma, Mam Upetita Kaunteya. Mam means I. So here Krishna says I means the consciousness. Once you attain consciousness, awareness, Mam. When people say Mam, they think that this Krishna is a person. Krishna is the consciousness, Atma, Paramatma. So Mam Upeti Kaunteya, when you attain Atma, Krishna, so then this Punarjanmana Vidyate, there's no birth because the ego dissolves in Atma. So when I say I am consciousness, next question, when I say I am consciousness, in that statement, the letter I unconsciously is inevitably pointed to this me and me. See, when he says I am consciousness, the I in the I is pointing to body and mind and intellect. So this is actually illusion created by the ego. So through Atma Vichara, the self-enquiry process, which I have given so many talks, you have to remove this feeling. I is not pointing to any matter. I is pointing to invisible Atma. The body, mind, and intellect is the visible. It's matter. It's an object. It's anatma. So the I in the anatma is also the ego says I is body. I am the body. But that correction has to be done through Atma Vichara, right understanding of I. The consciousness or knowing principle is not the body, mind, or intellect. Knowing principle is beyond the body and mind, intellect. Knowing principle is invisible. The body, mind, intellect is visible. This understanding, clarity, you have to bring in, and that's all the Atma Vichara. So next question is: so bliss and pure awareness or pure consciousness are the same? So yes, the word bliss means ananda, means chit. Pure consciousness means chit, and sat means pure existence. Sat, chit, ananda all mean same. They don't mean same thing. They are pointing to one reality, which is not a thing, which is not visible. Thing is visible. Thing has a name for, thing has attributes. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. The touch, smell, taste, form, and sound are the qualities of what is visible, matter. Sat Chit Ananda doesn't have any attributes. The word Sat Chit Ananda is pointing to something which is attributeless, the basic reality from which the universe is appearing. The quality of that is Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Does it answer your question? Any more questions, follow-up questions? Ramchandra? Okay. With that, we'll conclude today's session. Thank you. Namaste. Right.